The final percentages video then, to conclude the topic, is going to look at reverse percentages. Now, in my opinion, this is by far the hardest thing to do when you're working with percentages, because it can be quite confusing in terms of what the question means. So we're going to have a look at two questions which really represent basically the only two types of problems you can get, and then we'll have a look at how you work through them. The first one, a pair of jeans are reduced by 20% to £32, find their original value. So you have to read it carefully. What it's saying is they're now £32, but this is after they've been reduced by 20%. Now what I can't do is find 20% of 32 and then just add it on, because what you'll find is 20% of £32 is not the same as 20% of the original number. So that method won't work. So what I have to do here, I have to think about what actual percentage is represented by the 32. Now to do that, I think it's quite useful, especially while you're getting used to it, to set up a sort of flow diagram. So I'm going to make a few boxes and draw on the arrows just so that we can link what's happening. Now the three key pieces of information: reduced, 20% and £32. So in other words, they're £32 now. Now the original value, if you think about it, is always going to be 100%. The original value is 100%, it's the full amount. So if it's reduced by 20%, what they're actually saying is that £32 is actually 80% of the original cost. It's reduced 100% by 20% to get to 80%. So if 80% is £32, we're going to try and work out what 10% is. Now, for these examples, 10% is fine to work with. Sometimes, if it's a very difficult one, it may not be easy to find 10%. You may need to find, say, 5%, 1%, or maybe even 50%, depending on what the number is you're dividing by. So we're going to have a look at finding 10%. Now the link between 80% and 10%, if you think, how do I get 80% down to 10%? Well, I have to divide by 8. If you divide 80% by 8, you get 10%. If I divide one side by 8, then thinking, like a lot of maths is, keeping both sides balanced, I have to divide the other side by 8. 32 divided by 8 is 4. So 10% is £4. Now I work back up. I found the 10%. Once I've got 10%, it's easy to get that up to 100. To get to 100%, I multiply by 10. Same to the other side. 4 times by 10 is 40. So originally, the jeans cost £40. You can check this by doing percentage of amount. Find 20%. Well, 10% is 4. 20% is £8. £40, take away £8, which is the 20%, leaves you at 32, so it is correct. The other way then, the weight of a person increases by 10% to 88 kilograms, find their original weight. Now this is going the other way. Rather than reduce, we're looking at increase this time. So same thing again, set out your flow chart. I've highlighted the three key pieces: increases, 10% and 88 kilograms. So originally, the original weight is 100%, remember that. If it increases, what I'm actually saying is you've got this 100% to start with, and then 10% more on top of that. So 100% and another 10%. This is actually 110%. So 110% is 88 kilograms. They've increased, they've gone over the 100%. So I'm going to have a look at finding 10%. How do I get 110 down to 10? Well, if I divide 110 by 11, that gets me down to 10. Think about it. 11 times 10 is 110. So divide by 11. 88 this time divides nicely by 11. This is what I was saying. Sometimes 10% may not be nice, because if 88 didn't divide by 11, I'd have a bit of a problem. So you may need to look for another number. 88 divided by 11 is 8. Once I've got 10%, then it's easy to scale it back up. 10 lots of 10 to make 100, times the other side by 10. 8 times 10 is obviously 80 kilograms. So originally, the person was 80 kilograms. Again, check it using percentage of amount. This is why it's so important. 10% of 80 is 8 kilograms. So if I add on 8 kilograms to the original thing, the 80, I do get to 88 kilograms. So it is correct. So with this, the flow diagram, I think, really helps, because it allows you to get a clear picture in your head of what is actually happening. So remember, the original value is always the 100%. If it's reduced, what they're actually saying is whatever they give you in the question is less than 100%, or if it's increased, whatever they give you in the question is more than 100%. Once you've written that down, then you need to work from there and try and find a way to find what 100% is going to be.